All right. Hey guys, I'm Sean. I'm the third member of Professional Picks, and I've been in charge of all the golf picks that you guys have been seeing and some other behind the scenes stuff. And in today's video, I will be doing a Ryder Cup preview, which will include pretty much explaining how I make picks, um, how the Ryder Cup works, how the teams are picked, a preview of the course, and then some early picks that I like for this weekend's Ryder Cup, which is always one of the most electric events in golf. But before I get to that, a big announcement for Professional Picks as we have our first partnership with Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the simplest fantasy app on the market right now. And our partnership revolves around the fact that they'll match your first deposit up to $100 when you use our promo code ProPicks, up to $100. And so you put in anything from $20 to $100, they match it. And that's money on them. So you can go in, use that money on Prize Picks. It's on the house. Free money. Play around with it. See if you like it. And if you're winning money, keep doing it. Here at Professional Picks, we use Prize Picks and we really like it. Their interface is great. And we hope that you do too. And if you don't if you don't find yourself winning money, you were using money provided by them using this promo code. So it's risk-free to try it out. And remember to use the promo code Pro Picks, and I'll show you why here at Professional Picks, we really like Prize Picks. So here's their interface. It's really versatile. I really like what they have to offer. So you can make an entry with either fantasy props or props like pass yards, rush yards, and they have pretty much everything, every sport. And so you can make an entry of 2 to 5 props, and which you can win up to 10 times your entry. And Prize Picks is great because it's not like other books where big money influences the line. It's pretty much just you versus their projection. And it also has mixed sport entries. So I can pretty much take LeBron's points over, Patrick Mahomes receiving passing yards over, and combine it. That's really hard to find. And it's a really slick interface, like I mentioned. And one of the best things about it is the flex play and the power play that you'll see here. The flex play is a built-in promotion that you pretty much can't even find on any other books. It is awesome. With great value, and at Professional Picks, we use the flex play and the power play a lot. So, for example, for this Thursday night game, I took Christian McCaffrey's projected receiving yards over and Sam Darnold's projected rushing yards over. And these are projections that Prize Picks puts out. So I, on this slide, want to do the flex play, let's say. If both of these things hit, I double my money. If one of them hits, I win half of what I entered. So $50 would be $25 if one of these hit. And then let's say I do the power play. Power play is when you just pretty much double down and you say, I'm going to have both these win and I get to win 3 times my money. I really don't think you're going to find this anywhere else where you can have 2 props and if both hit, you win triple your money. That's just very great value that we definitely like here at Professional Picks. And so this is something that you guys should take advantage of. And to further incentivize you guys to take advantage of it, we're going to be doing a giveaway. So what you need to do is go to Prize Picks. We'll have the link below, and you need to sign up with our code ProPicks. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to also get videos like this and more of our NFL stuff. Comment on this video or any future video saying that you used our promo code, and you will be entered into a raffle once we hit 50 referrals. Not that many referrals, but we really want to give back to you guys and incentivize you guys to use this interface. We love it. It's great. So we'll be giving away $50 Amazon gift cards. So pretty much once we hit 50 referrals and you do everything on the left, you have a 30% chance of winning a $50 Amazon gift cards. Amazon gift card when you didn't risk any money. You're betting with their money. So take advantage of this. We hope you guys like it, and we're pretty much guaranteeing you'll love the value that you guys get out of it. So now moving on, I'm going to talk about my past results as I've been betting golf. So I started with the FedEx Cup and the Northern Trust. Tony Finau ended up winning this one, but here's my card. I went up 4.15 units. That's pretty good for just 1 weekend of golf. I'll take that all day. I've been trying to find some guys that fit the course a little bit better and take them top 30, top 20. I haven't been going into the long shots as much You'll see that I've been kind of all over John Rahm lately. Guy's just been really good, and looking forward to him representing Team Europe this weekend. So then I went into the BMW. John Rahm there again. Wasn't a great showing. I was just kind of refining my process of how I was making picks. Tried something a little bit different. Only went up about a unit, which, I mean, I'm not going to complain about a positive weekend, but looking to do a little bit better. And then so I skipped the Tour Championship to help prepare these guys for NFL Week 1. And then here's how I did the first week of the new PGA Tour season with my new refined way of making picks, and had a great weekend. Up 7.3 units, did great. Lock of the week, Will Zalatoris hit. It was great. Nate Lashley was a super value play. Plus 900 for top 20, hit that. Mito, people kind of counted him out at the beginning of this tournament, and he ended up finishing tied second and was plus money to be top 30. I was really happy about that hitting. So these are the only three tournaments I've released cards for, and I'm up 12.32 units, $100 better, up $1,200 in three tournaments. I'm very happy with that and looking to continue that into the Ryder Cup. So before I just give you guys my picks, I want to walk you through the process to show you how I make my picks, show you not hasn't been just straight luck that I've somehow had 3 really great weekends. So what I do is every week there's a tournament, usually starts on Thursday. I break down the course, try to figure out what wins, whether that's you got to be really good putting, you got to be really good off the tee, or you got to be really good with your approach. And so I kind of rank these, put them and look at them against strokes gained, which is a great tool that the PGA Tour pretty much offers for free on their website. So I compare how these guys are doing with their strokes gained. So for example, Bryson DeChambeau, great strokes gained off the tee just because he can bomb the ball. But sometimes when it requires you to drive the ball far and be accurate, I have to look at driving accuracy. And then the last metric that I look at is last 5 tournaments. Are they playing good golf? Are they trending in the right direction? These are really important things to keep in mind. That's something I didn't take into account that second weekend. And I put my money on Louis Oosthuizen coming off an injury. Probably shouldn't have done that. So learning from my mistakes, just trying to get better, give you guys the best picks I can make. So moving on to the Ryder Cup. Not a people know about the Ryder Cup. So golf's usually an individual sport. This is where it changes. It's a team game. You represent your country. Well, for Team Europe, they represent a continent. And so it's a different format, and it's really electric. In golf, you're supposed to be quiet. Everyone's really drunk on the first tee, getting it going. The USA chants are going to be flying. It's going to be awesome. So on Friday and Saturday, there's each of these events, a 4-ball and a foursomes. And golf has these stupid names for things like it's kind of hard to understand. So for 4-ball, you'll have a pair of 2. So a pair from the USA and a pair from Europe. They'll play their own ball every time. And then at the end of each hole, you take the best score. And so all of these things are match play. So what happens is, let's say Team USA pars the first hole and they get a 4. And Team Europe pars this hole as well. They'll half that hole. They'll each get a half point. And then whoever wins the match will win the point. For foursomes, that's different. It's an alternate shot format. So someone goes off the tee, someone hits the approach shot, someone putts. They have to alternate everything. And this is also match play. And that's what's great about this event. Match play puts pressure on people to hit putts and make clutch shots. So that will be really interesting. And so this happens on Friday. So 4-ball, I think, will be in the morning this time, foursomes in the afternoon. Same thing on Saturday. And then Sunday singles. So this is where every player plays, and you do 1v1 match play. And that's the entire time. And so that'll be cool to see. It all comes down to the last day and how you can beat your opponent. This will be really interesting. And then let me further break down the points for you guys, because this is how you win. So there's 28 points on the board, first to 14.5 wins. So you can win 16 points on the first 2 days, and then 12 points because there's 12 single matches on the last day. So there's been trends that I want to discuss, but one of the main things when it comes to this format is there are captains on each side. And these captains make the matchups for the team. And that plays a big role into betting this. And that's just a dynamic that's not really seen in the rest of the PGA season, because you're not playing match play like this. You're playing individually. You're on an island by yourself playing against the rest of the field. So let's go into the past results of the Ryder Cup. And here you can see Team Europe winning in 2018. And so the way this works is it rotates every 2 years between Europe and the US. And obviously last year didn't happen because of COVID. And so it's going to be at Whistling Straits in the US this year. And so all time, the US is 26-14. But Europe has won 9 out of the last 11. And the US is 2-7 since 1999. And for all the golfers out there, 1999 is when Tiger came out of the scene. Tiger's teams are 1-7 at the Ryder Cup. And they've consistently have more talent. So this is something I'm going to get into a little bit later, but things aren't really trending in the right direction for Team USA. So to preview the course, Whistling Straits is a gem of a course. Location, Kohler, Wisconsin, near Sheboygan, right on Lake Michigan. It's just such a pure course. Kind of link style, but not really. You still got to play the ball through the air. Wind's always going to be a factor here, coming straight off the lake. Seems almost like an ocean at this point when you have to fly the ball through the air and just let the wind assault it and just not let it land where you want it to land. How it was made. So Mr. Kohler, the guy, Kohler, the well-known brand, went to the late Pete Dye and said, make it look like Ireland. And I honestly think he did a great job. This place was a dump before. They brought in trucks, millions of pounds of stuff just to make it look like this. Course details, par 71, playing almost 7,400 yards, which is kind of long for a par 71. But there are some short par fours that will be scoring holes. No doubt about that. I'm pretty sure the first hole I could maybe see Bryson just trying to send the green. Like I mentioned, wind is a factor here. When I was going through my process of making picks, I wanted to make sure these guys were good in the wind. So I try to look at comparable courses, like when they play the Open where it's really windy. And then bent grass greens, 7,000 square foot average green size, which means the greens are larger than average. This kind of makes sense with all the wind. You're going to hit a green, but there's a lot of undulation here. You're going to have a lot of crazy breaking putts, and whoever can hit them is going to come out on top. It's kind of what wins at the Ryder Cup. So what wins at the Ryder Cup? Making putts, like I said. You got to make the clutch putts. That's where strokes are gained the most at the Ryder Cup. Pretty much everyone can hit a green in regulation. You're on the PGA Tour. But who's going to sink the longer putts? Who's going to make the clutch putts? And ultimately, who's going to win their points for their country or Team Europe? So another thing that comes into play is team chemistry, which I'll get into this later. This is weird because it's golf. You're taking an individual sport and making it a team sport. That doesn't happen that often. And then, so the way that they pick teams is a little different between USA and Europe, but Europe has used analytics in the past to pick their teams recently. And I think that's contributed to the recent success. And USA has done more of a feel based on it, but Captain Steve Stricker this year, based on who he picked, I'm pretty sure he's using analytics and trying to have the right course fit here. So now to move on, we'll go on to the teams. So I'm going to break down each player pretty much and tell you what I think of this pick, tell you how I think they're going to fare. And pretty much this preview for each player will lead into my picks, and I'll explain how that works. So to start off, Daniel Berger, a little bit of an interesting pick for me, honestly. I've been all over Kevin Na. Dude's been on fire. He had one bogey at the entire Tour Championship. You know how that's like really hard to do. And so I want to see him in there. Berger has been putting pretty bad lately, but after my research, I found that he's actually surprisingly good in the wind. So I was going to be all out on Berger, but depending on who he gets paired with, I could see myself putting some money on him, depending on who he's paired with. Patrick Cantlay speaks for himself, just coming off the win off the Tour Championship. I mean, won the PGA Tour Player of the Year. I really don't have to say much about this guy. He's playing phenomenal golf. Bryson, he's just doing Bryson things. I don't know how I feel about him. Like the driving distance is going to be huge this week, but he's Bryson, so he's training for the long drive championship right now, doing 2-a-days. I don't think that's going to be great for his prep. I saw an article where he said his hands are torn up from doing these 2-a-days. I think his mind is somewhere else, and I probably will be staying away from him. Harris English, I'm all over Harris English. He had a great year on tour. Could see him making some noise at this tournament because of how versatile he is. So think about it, it's pairing. Harris English is a versatile player. I could see him getting paired when they need him to win matches. I'm very high on him because he also plays well in the wind too. Tony Finau finally broke his winless streak with his win at the Wyndham this year. But I want to see how he perform under pressure because obviously he's been known for choking away those games, choking away like leads. I think it was the Genesis in 2020 when he went to a playoff with Max Homa. I mean, he missed a 4-footer to seal his victory. That just can't be happening. So I do want to see how that works, but his game fits this course really well. He keeps the ball low off the tee, out of the wind. I just want to see how he'll do then. So when it comes to DJ, I don't know. Ever since he won the Masters, it seems like he's less interested. I don't know what it is, but he started to play a little more like old DJ at the end of this last season, and I'm guaranteeing he'll show up for the Ryder Cup. I mean, this is a big stage. He likes showing up for big stages. Speaking of Brooks Koepka shows up for big stages all the time. But I don't know how I feel about Brooks. Coming off that injury, so at the Tour Championship, he was hitting his approach shot and hit a root that he didn't see, hurt his forearm. In a recent press conference, said he was all good, but not really sure where I am on Brooks. I think I'm leaning towards staying away from him as of now. He had some pretty not great comments that came out in a recent interview that pretty much validated the fact that the U.S. does not care about the Ryder Cup as much as Team Europe at all. He said that the team aspect of the Ryder Cup is getting in the way of his individual prep, and I don't know. It's just he's definitely someone that could be an X factor if he decides to show up. I'm unsure. And speaking of X factors, Collin Morikawa, he was amazing this year, amazing up until he got the FedEx Cup. I was big on him the first week of the FedEx Cup. Didn't really know what was going on, and he started playing terrible. I mean, it was very weird. And so it finally came out that he had a back injury. That would have been nice to know before the tournament. And because of this back injury, he's had to change his mechanics. He's going everywhere off the tee. I've seen him hit it left, right, off the tee. Terrible. He's known for being an elite ball striker, unreal with his irons, and he's just not doing that anymore. Missing a lot of green and rags. I love the stat that it was Collin Morikawa on average is closer to the pin with his 6-iron than the average tour player is with their pitching wedge. I mean, this guy is dialed all the time. But with this back injury, I just don't know which Collin Morikawa is going to show up. But if it's the Collin that we know, that we saw at the beginning of last year, he's going to make a statement here. And I don't know which one will show up. So I kind of want to stay away from him. But it is something to be wary about. And then Xander's been playing great golf, coming off the Olympic gold. He's a good ball striker, not that great off the tee, which scares me a little bit, but he's going to probably be paired with Cantlay. That's kind of what all signs are leading to. Patrick Cantlay, one of the best players on this team right now. I mean, if not the best. And these are two really even-keeled guys. I think that's going to contribute immensely to this environment where it's a high-pressure, high-stake environment. And if you can keep your composure and not have a tantrum like Bryson does occasionally, I think you're going to do well. Scotty Scheffler, I'm big on Scotty Scheffler. He's a great rookie for this team. Whole lot of upside for Scotty, but his putter has struggled a little bit. However, in like comparable events that I've looked at, the Open and like other big stages like that, he's shown up. I think he tied 8th at the Open in 2020. So looking forward to him showing up on a big stage. And then for the last two, I got to group them together. Jordan Spieth and Justin Thomas. Everyone knows they're going to get paired together. They're great friends. They're the ultimate team for the Ryder Cup, for the U.S. Ryder Cup. Everyone was saying that JT would be livid if Captain Stricker left off Spieth from his captain's picks because they're best friends and Spieth had a kind of a shaky FedEx Cup, but that wasn't going to happen. Definitely we'll talk about these two later, more of Justin Thomas, just because he's been really good at Ryder Cups and the President Cup, which is another match play event. The dude lives for competition, so looking forward to that. To recap, Team USA, 8 out of the top 10 golfers in the world. Stacked. But some downside, team chemistry. I think if you look at it, Brooks and Bryson, whole thing there, not invested as they really are. I think that's been the thing for the U.S. They just haven't been as invested as Team Europe. The Ryder Cup means a ton to Team Europe. So compared to the U.S. guys, I mean, a few years ago, the U.S. guys didn't even want to play in the Ryder Cup because they weren't getting paid. Like they didn't just want to go represent their country. They just wanted to be paid. So I think that's kind of lingered there for them. So that's my preview on the Team USA. Let's move on to Team Europe. And I'll start off with Paul Casey. Paul Casey actually fits this course really well. He has an elite strokes gained off the tee and strokes gained tee to green. And that's what you're going to need. You're obviously going to need some more putting. But maybe in a format like alternate shot, where he's not really relied on to be the main putter, he'll do pretty good. So his putter has struggled the last 2 tournaments, but he gained a astonishing 7 strokes putting at the WGC St. Jude. That's a crazy stat. So look out for Paul Casey. Matt Fitzpatrick, I'm just not too big on. Nothing too exciting, not too bad though. I'm going to be staying away from him. Started out last season really, really hot and then just steady decline to the rest of the season. So staying away from that. Tommy Fleetwood, 80% winning percentage at the Ryder Cup all time. Don't count him out at big events. He hasn't been playing great golf recently, but it's the Ryder Cup. I think he'll show up. He finished second in the Open at 2019, comparable course, comparable conditions. So look for that. Sergio is an all-timer for Team Europe. He has the same amount of points all time at the Ryder Cup as the entire U.S. team combined. So this guy's a veteran. He knows his way. He knows how to play these type of matches. He's really, really good ball striker, and that's one of the things I said that you're going to need to have at this course. And so that's something to look out for, especially because he played pretty well going into the Tour Championship at the end of last season. Tyrrell Hatton, I'm not too high on, hasn't been playing great golf this year, and does not have a history of showing in big events. So I'm pretty much going to stay away from him. Could be a nice supporting role in one of his pairs on Friday or Saturday, but who really knows? Victor Hovland, young rookie, closed out last season playing some very competitive golf. In the hunt at the Tour Championship, just couldn't get the putter going. Everyone knows it always comes down to the putter for this guy. It's just so inconsistent, but when it's on, the kid is just so dangerous. So something to keep an eye out there. Probably like him for some bets. I'll get into that later. Shane Lowry, a rookie as well for this team. Really good player in the win. Won the Open in 2019. Not been playing great golf lately, though. Not really strong off the tee either, which is kind of not great for this course. But he's really, really good everywhere else. So keep an eye out for him. And then Rory was up and down last season, but at the end of last season, he come back, starting to be the Rory that we know. And his putting has struggled lately, though. So that's something to look out. But it's just, you have to find this balance of where it's the Ryder Cup. You think they're going to show up. They're going to make great putts. I mean, people remember that match with Rory and Patrick Reed, where even though Rory didn't come out on top, it was 5 straight holes where they were sinking ridiculously long putts right after each other. So the Ryder Cup just brings out a different sense in these people, and Rory can really get it going on the greens. Ian Poulter, veteran on this team, certified like ripper of hearts out of the U.S. team. He always makes big putts and is just constantly providing value to Team Europe. His match play record is unbelievable. So uh, look out for him. I really think he is going to make a statement, even though he hasn't played the best golf. Just he's going to make putts, and that's what's going to happen. John Rahm, don't need to speak on him either. Told you guys I'm up on him. Have been on him for a while now. World number one. In my book, like I don't think you need to take his poor showing at the Fortinet last weekend. He came down with a stomach bug on Wednesday, opted out of the pro-am, and then I don't even really know why he was there. He said he wanted to play some competitive golf, but I mean, it really wasn't like it just seemed like his head wasn't there. Definitely focused on the Ryder Cup. So nothing to worry about there. I like John Rahm. Wiesberger, this was a surprising pick for me. I did some research, found out that he was only picked because of the European point system. So nothing like great out of that. I don't really know who he's going to get paired with. Just kind of on the lower end for Team Europe. And then Lee Westwood, another veteran. Overall, 20-18-6 record at the Ryder Cup. Not been playing great lately. Seems to be a little burned out. But who knows? Overall, love his experience compared to the rest of the field. Probably won't be too high on him otherwise, but love his experience. So to recap, Team Europe, a veteran team, high team chemistry. The Ryder Cup means everything to the Euro Tour, to Team Europe, all those countries that they're representing. I think it's great. And their experience is huge too. Like they have some young guys, Victor, Tyrell Hatton, so Fitzpatrick. So that'll be a nice mix to have those veteran guys help calm the nerves of those younger guys at a high stakes event like this. So let's move into my early picks based on these previews. I think the team chemistry is going to outweigh the firepower of Team USA. Europe is my pick to win. I think they're just going to pull it out. The records based on the previous years. I mean, Tiger 1-7 in Ryder Cups, and he's the best player in the world when they're consistently have more talent than Team Europe. They just want it more. I mean, golf's this weird sport where it seems like, you're not diving for loose balls or anything like that, but they want to make putts more than Team USA, and I think that's going to prevail. So top USA point scorer, got to go with my guy JT. He's been doing really well in all these match plays. He is very, very good and he's very, very competitive. So for unusual events like these, I really think books have a hard time placing true lines. So like an example would be, this is like the Pro Bowl. They take all the best players in the NFL and have them on a team. And then this is like setting props for the Pro Bowl. You don't know who's going to play. You don't know what's going to happen. I really think this JT line, even though he's the favorite, is way too high. It makes sense for him to play all 5 matches. He's going to play all 5. Not every other guy is going to play all 5. So keep an eye on that. That's important. And then a sleeper pick that I'd maybe sprinkle a little bit on would be Harris English. Like I said, this guy has been unreal. If you guys remember, I don't remember. It was the Travelers. It was the Travelers, and he had a insane playoff with Kramer Hickok, and he just kept sinking clutch putt after clutch putt and came up on top. And that's what you're gonna need at the Ryder Cup, to hit clutch putts, make clutch shots. And then top European point scorer, I have to go with John Rahm. I mean, consistently proven that he's the best golfer around. He doesn't have a great record at Ryder Cups, but that was before he was John Rahm. Like he was always kind of in the pack, and now it's just he is significantly better than a lot of players on tour, and he's always going to be in the hunt. That's what it seems like the past year. So can't say anything to that, but then someone to sprinkle on a little bit would Ian Poulter. Like I mentioned, dude has just been always really good at the Ryder Cup. So I would feel bad now putting a little bit on Ian Poulter to see him just do what he's consistently done at Ryder Cup. So definitely keep that in mind. And then top Europe rookie point scorer, I'm leaning towards Victor Hovland. I don't want to say I'm completely taking Victor Hovland yet. I do want to see who they're going to pair him up with. He's a young guy, not really sure where his putter's going to be. They pair him up with some guy that can hit a lot of putts. I'm definitely going to take this, but I want to wait till later in the week when these matchups come out. Day 1 winner. So in day 2 winner. So I found this stat, past 3 Ryder Cups, crazy discrepancy. First day, US is outscoring Europe 9.5 to 2.5 points. And the second day, Europe is 10.5 to 1.5 points. So this is just no brainer for me to just take USA the first day and Europe the second day. It just makes a lot of sense to do this. I really think that's going to happen. And I think that Team Europe might have some luck on the singles. I just kind of want to wait to bet on those before when I know a little bit more about matchups, because that's kind of everything here. With a normal tournament, you don't really focus on matchups, but this is one that you got to. And then here's some other bets that I don't want to commit to as of now. Obviously, want to wait on the matchups, but for a top captain's pick, you got to look at Spieth because he's going to be paired with JT. I'm afraid that there might be one match where JT and Spieth don't play together. I don't know how Captain Stricker is going to figure that out. Another one to look at is Xander, going to be paired with Cantlay. I mean, that's just a great duo. Don't really like Tony Finau just because he's paired with, most likely going to be paired with Brooks. I don't know. That's something to keep an eye on. And then Harris English, always just so versatile, can be paired with a lot of people. So that's someone to keep an eye on as well. And then Sergio Garcia for the top European pick point scorer, captain's pick point scorer, because he is just so much experience, elite ball striker. And I think that's going to be great at Whistling Straits. Keep the ball low, out of the wind, and hit a lot of greens and get the ball close to the pin. Let your teammate make the putt and alternate shot, and let you get the low score and foursomes. Like, I think that's going to be huge. And then lastly, follow our Twitter and Instagram to get my card that will come out later this week, right before the Ryder Cup. And so I can know a little bit more about the matchups and make some more informed picks. Twitter and Instagram at Profit of Picks. Give us a follow. And if you like this video, like and subscribe. Let us know. Let me know, like, if you guys want more of this type of content. I'll be releasing more golf videos. What other type of content you guys want. Yeah, and so hope you enjoyed this video, and let's make some money this weekend.